Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lights Out podcast. We are going to have a fun show today, to say the least. A lot has happened, and there's a lot to talk about. Good boxing, primarily in the announcements for the fights that we are going to get in 2026. That's going to be quite the conversation, and I look forward to it, man. Welcome back to the Lights Out podcast once again. Ant, are you appalled by all the things happening in boxing right now? What kind of state of boxing are we in? We thought we were entering a new era of boxing, but we didn't realize that shit was going to hit the fan so early. What are your thoughts, man?
We're in such a like I've been saying, man. Like we're in such a interesting time for boxing because a lot of new stuff just came out, man. Like I'm not gonna spoil too much of it, but we are getting a certain rematch about 11 years later. So we're in a very interesting spot, and
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, like I said, man, a lot has happened. I mean, of course, we got Ryan Garcia, that whole thing, and we got, of course, Opataya's in a fight, and then it's a very eventful time to say the least, man.
I don't remember the last time that boxing has been this explosive in my lifetime, dude. In my lifetime, born in 99. I mean, the Pacquiao fights were cool. The Mayweather fights were cool, but right now we are just making way for so many different forms of boxing to succeed. And I'm excited to get into it. So without further ado, man, let's just do that shit and get into it. So we talked to you last early February. Now we're in early March. Today is March 3rd at the time of this recording. And we have two big shows to recap that happened in the month of March. Zuffa Boxing 3 being one of them, and the Ring High Stakes being the other one. Very excited to talk about this here. Let's go ahead and start with Zuffa 3, right? A knockout on every fight of the main card. Every match ended in a knockout. I mean, you could say the main event was technically a TKO, but we are getting a finish. We're 3 for 3. Zuffa's third card ever, and they somehow go 3 for 3 on establishing a finish on every fight. And a lot of people, you could sit there and say, oh, this is because of, mismatches and all that stuff. I don't think that's the case. I think stars shined bright on the Zuffa 3 main card here. Before we getting to the main event, we had Jabril Pebenito defeating Abel Mejia by knockout in the lightweight division. Okay. And then we had Umar Zambekov knocking out Ahmed El Baili with one of the most disgusting knockouts I've ever seen, bro. The leg twitch was crazy. Obviously, all love, respect, and best wishes to Ahmed, but oh my goodness, man, that's boxing. That's boxing, all right? For better and worse. That's boxing. Anywho, we get to the main event, a heavyweight fight. Efa Ijagba taking on Charles Martin, and he gets the TKO on his ass. The number 8 heavyweight in the world, according to the Ring magazine, Efa Ijagba, looking pretty good. Just this whole Zuffa card looking fantastic. Before we get into the Ring High Stakes, man, what did you think about Zuffa 3?
It was interesting, man. I actually went back and just pulled up that knockout, man. God damn, that was vicious. Like Jesus Christ, like the way like a leg is not supposed to twitch that way and not supposed to go that way, man. Like it's not supposed to twitch like that. Like he was out cold, man. Holy shit! Like, and the fact that three knockouts and it's 3 for 3. We're 3 for 3 in knockouts, man. That's actually insane. Like, I mean, it's a rarity that we get knockouts like that back to back in one main card, and the fact that it all happened at Zuffa 3. God damn, man! Like, what are they? What is in the water in Zuffa, man?
Yeah, and the craziest thing about this episode is that's not even half of the crazy that we're going to talk about. That's like a freaking prelim into what we're about to get into. So, the second big show that took place in the month of February was the Ring High Stakes, headlined by Ryan Garcia versus the ninth welterweight in the world, WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. You got Gary Antoine Russell and Andy Hiroka, having a match for the WBA junior welterweight title. You had Richardson Hitchens defending the IBF junior welterweight title against Oscar Duarte. We'll talk about that in a second. But before we get to those three fights, which are three beautiful fights, like this card looked fantastic, man. I was so freaking excited for this card. The undercard here, before we get to the title fights, consisted of Amari Jones defeating Luis Arias in a middleweight bout by TKO. Great way to start the show. And then we had Bektemir Melikuziev defeating Senya Agbeko by TKO, getting a finish to the first two fights of this undercard. And then we have Frank Martin versus Nair Albright, which actually goes the distance. This junior welterweight bout goes the distance, all right, and ends in a draw, which is, just a testament to the type of fight that they had. Getting two finishes off the bat and then seeing a third fight go to a draw. What did you think of the first three fights of the Ring High Stakes?
They were definitely interesting, to say the least. I did not expect Frank Martin and Nahir to go the distance. I thought it may be a late round knockout, but the fact that it ended in a draw is kind of is shocking. It was very competitive, very back and forth, and neither guy wanted to lose, man. It was really interesting. Although I did feel like Martin underperformed a little bit, but I think a draw is the right call. And then as far as these other fights, man, they were really good, man. I mean, Melikuziev, dude, he broke him down, dude. He broke Akbeko down, like, with pressure and that power, man. Like, whew, that was dangerous, man. And then, of course, you got Amari Jones versus Luis Arias, man. Like, dude, that was dominant. That's as one-sided of a fight you could probably have. If you go back and rewatch that fight, if the highlights are available.
Watch the fight is what he was going to say. We lost Ant to a second for due to technical issues. To move on the card here, previously mentioned Richardson Hitchens actually backed out. Sorry, where was I? Number 2 junior welterweight in the world, Richardson Hitchens, the day of the Ring High Stakes, actually backed out of defending the IBF junior welterweight title against Oscar Duarte due to health issues. So unfortunately, we did not get to see that fight. What we did get to see was the number 7 junior welterweight in the world, Gary Antoine Russell, by a pinch, in my opinion, defeat Andy Hiroka by decision to retain the WBA junior welterweight title. Ant, what did you think about the showing out of Gary Antoine Russell as well as his opponent Andy Hiroka, and was that the right decision? I imagine we haven't even talked about this yet. This is live right here, but I imagine you have something to say about that finish.
This was so close, dude. Absolutely, this was so damn close. Like, I think, and you said it, dude, a pinch, like, not even like a wide margin, a little pinch of salt, dude. That's how close this fight was. Like, this, man, dude, Russell was so impressive, man. Like, he was very technical. He controlled the pace. He outboxed the Hiroka a little bit, man. That was actually impressive. And then I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I think Russell has looked actually legit like a rising contender at 146, man. I think this is a guy we might actually want to look out for, man, because he could be something special. I mean, I know I say that about a lot of guys that impress me, but I'm actually kind of like, I was actually impressed, man. Like, this was really a really good fight. I thought this fight wasn't gonna be as good or as like competitive, but man, like, this was super close.
That was world class, dude. That was world class. That was probably best fight of the night, and I would definitely love to see a sequel as well as love to see what these two go on to do in 2026 and beyond. But it's time for us to talk about Ryan Garcia walking in to the ring with the number 9 welterweight in the world, Mario Barrios, and dethroning Mario Barrios decisively. Ryan Garcia is our new WBC welterweight champion. What did you think about the fight? What did you think about? Oh, brother, I'm just gonna give you.
Oh my god. I'm gonna try to keep it like as professional as I can, but Mario Barrios, bro, what the actual hell were you doing? What the hell, man? You're defending a WBC title and you get dropped 30 seconds with 30 seconds in the first round? Are you kidding me, man? And the rest of the fight, no adjustments, not a single adjustment. I get it. Ryan Garcia is a quick fighter, but he didn't have his. What did he not have? His he came in hurt, right? Correct me if I could be wrong, my friend. Did he come in hurt during this fight? Because Garcia, I could be wrong.
Um, he kind of said something after that. Yeah, yeah. He kind of said he had a minor thing going with his right hook, and he had to rely on the left hook, right?
Yeah, and you still don't adjust, and you still don't adjust after all that, and there's no urgency at all. Not a single fucking slice of urgency, not a single piece of urgency after being down all these rounds. You get outclassed like that. Come on, man. Like where's your game plan? Like were you hoping that Garcia would just slow down? Because no, he wasn't gonna do that. Like Jesus, man. Like I love Barrios, man, but he has not been the same since that Tank fight, dude. I think Tank Loki took his soul. Like he did not fight like a champion at all. Like he was down big on the cards, and he still didn't take any risks. Even his corner was saying, "You need to take risks." He didn't do that. Like, oh my god, bro.
Here's where I ask you this question: how much of this are we putting on Ryan Garcia? Because it's really hard with Ryan Garcia, and you could tell everyone in boxing who's getting paid wants to make a star out of Ryan Garcia because that's the energy that we get. We can admit Ryan Garcia's made himself a star, and maybe some of those things that made him a star kind of piss off the boxing fans. But it's all right because he's got enough casual fans. And I'm not trying to hate on King Rye here. Like, I'm totally down to see this guy just be excellent. All right.
Yeah,
There's just some shit you do that I can't agree with personally, but whatever. Let's put that aside and talk about the boxing, right? As a fighter, I mean, Ryan Garcia just looked as tremendous as everyone on those boxing freaking panels on ESPN and DAZN wanted him to be,
right.
right? So, how much of this is King Rye? How much of this is Ryan Garcia being as good as everyone makes him out to be?
I
Answer me
think
that, like, truthfully.
I think this fight really set in stone, like you said, like how good Ryan Garcia is. I think he showed up like when he needed to, because I mean everybody was doubting him, like after the loss to Tank, right? Everybody thought, oh, this dude's a fraud, dude's like not gonna make it, and he goes out and he goes out and wins a title. He beats the number 9 guy, dude, Mario Barrios. Like that's impressive in itself, man. And I think, dude, Garcia is a hell of a talent. I mean, I've always respected what he's done. Ryan Garcia, he's a damn good fighter, and and I like that he's bringing in the casual fans too. That's pretty cool. But man, like this, he showed that he was legit, man. Ryan Garcia showcased that he was legit. But man, like I know, like I shouldn't be ranting here, but fucking Barrios, dude, like Jesus Christ, I'm trying not to make this all about Barrios, but dude, like yeah, it's time to hang it up, my friend, because holy shit, that was god awful. But hey, congrats
He
to Ryan
deserves.
Garcia, man. That was a good fight, man. I think he fought really well. He fought like how we all wanted him to. came out swinging early. Of course, dropping him with 30 seconds left in the round is honestly impressive. I think he fought well, man. He fought really well. I think we should tip our. I think I should tip my cap to Ryan Garcia. He was really excellent. That was his career best performance.
Yeah, definitely career best. And I do want to say, as much as the boxing media loves to meet Ryan Garcia, and I'm not trying to be a part of this. Let me be very clear. I do not want to do that. I do not want this show to be that. All right. But this is honestly, part of me hates to say it, maybe even, but I think this is just the beginning for Ryan Garcia. I think the hype is real. That doesn't mean he's going to win every fight, but I think he's going to put up a damn fight from this point forward, which is fantastic. When he's actually putting up a good ass fight, it's good shit. Really good to see Ryan Garcia kind of shine early in 2026. I know the Barrios thing was very disappointing. I too love Barrios. I always saw him fighting on Canelo's undercards. He was a very entertaining welterweight boxer for a very long time. Had a fantastic fight with Manny Pacquiao recently as well. And don't worry, we're going to get to that Manny Pacquiao stuff. Stick around. I do want to talk about the February matchups, right? You see, every month, the Ring Magazine drops matchups of the month. And we already went over a couple of them, the main event of Zuffa 3 being one. And then the last two fights of the Ring High Stakes being the other two. But here are some other ones from around the world of boxing in which the Ring Magazine has gone out of our way to tell us this is what you need to watch. On the 7th, we had the number 7 featherweight in the world defeat the number 3 featherweight in the world as Brandon Figueroa knocked out former champion Nick Ball in the 12th round, the last round, to become the new WBA featherweight champion. What are your thoughts on Brandon Figueroa knocking out Nick Ball?
The only real thing I can say, upset, man. Holy shit! Like I going into this, bro, I gave Figueroa not a chance in hell to be Nick Ball, especially because not just because I like Nick, but the way Nick's been fighting recently, man, like he's been damn near unbeatable, man. And the fact that it took 12 rounds to knock him out, bro, is insane, man. Like Brandon Figueroa, dude, like how the hell did you do that? Even like I was like when I saw the knockout in real time, I was like, did that just happen? Like I couldn't believe it, man. That's one of the like it. I did not think he would win at all, dude. Figueroa, dude, holy shit! Like that left hook, clean as a whistle, man. Holy shit! Like I upset, man. Even the commentators were saying like we're calling this like one of the biggest upsets like ever. I mean, god damn, this was
Ever.
dude.
Ever. This episode is crazy, man.
I mean, look,
Dude.
I'm gonna pull up something real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up a record. I'm gonna pull up a record of Nick Ball. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real quick.
Sure, man. In the meantime, I could talk about the 3 other fights that were on the February matchups. You know, we had Lee Wood defeating Josh Harrington by decision to go 2-0 against Harrington, right? This was a fun fight. It was a fairly dominating fight. I mean, Lee Wood just kind of did his thing in here. Very solid junior lightweight in the world of boxing. Very fun. And then the very next night, right, we had Clarissa Shields defeat Franchon Cruz Dezern by decision to retain the undisputed heavyweight championship. And this was a good showing right here. I mean, Clarissa Shields brought the power and retains the undisputed heavyweight championship. And then last but not least, we were actually able to see the number 2 junior lightweight in the world, Emmanuel Navarrete, defeat the number 4 junior lightweight in the world, Eduardo Nunez, to unify the IBF and WBO junior lightweight championship. What were your thoughts on this fight, man? We know they let the Mexican Warriors do the Crimson Chin Mexican Warrior thing that they do, but man, that eye was swollen shut, and that is what brought the finish to this championship unification match. What are your thoughts, man?
Well, first off, I want to circle back to the Nick Ball thing, dude. I mean, let me. Let me wrap this up real quick. Let me wrap up my thing on Nick Ball. I mean, look at the guys Nick Ball has fought, dude. He's fought Rios, Raymond Ford, Ray Vargas Jr., obviously, uh, and Sam Goodman. Like, dude, none of these guys are slouches either, man. Like, some of these guys actually have good track records, and it took 25 guys. 25 guys have tried, and one guy finally did it, dude. Brandon Figueroa. God bless you, dude. Like, it took 23 guys, not 25, my bad. It took 23 guys to 24 guys to finally find the one in 23 and 1, dude. Like, god damn. And as far as Navarrete, man, I've always been a fan of him, dude. Always. I remember his fight with Oscar Valdez. That was God, that was a fight. I was a war, dude. That's one of the best fights I've ever seen, I think, in my life. Like, and like you said, man, the Crimson Chin, dude. Like that, like this fight between these two reminded me of that fight with Valdez, man. Like that, I was swollen shut, dude. Like, and I even told you, like, by like what was it, the 11th round, or what round did this fight in?
It was like 10th or 11th,
10th
yeah,
or
if I'm not mistaken.
I had told you, like, they need to stop this fight because, like, if he continues on, like, it's over, dude. Like, he can't see, dude. Like, Navarrete is something special, man. I think, like, he's a damn good fighter, man. I really want to see. I want to see these two go at it again, but I also want to see Valdez versus Navarrete again, man. Like, dude, unifying, dude. I can be here all night praising Navarrete, dude. Like, he has it all. Like, he has everything the Mexican fans want in a boxer. Like, he doesn't quit. And that's what I love about him. He keeps coming at you, man. And I think that's what the Mexican fans want. They don't want like a guy that just kind of like, oh, like he punches, then he kind of runs around the ring like a little bit. They want a guy that will actually like fight. And that's exactly what Navarrete did, man. I think he's going to be something special. I can see him maybe in a year or two being on the undercard for Canelo fights, man. I think he should, honestly.
Definitely a great option for that. You know, I'm thinking Navarrete is a fantastic freaking option to see him fight in September during the Canelo fight. We can call it the Canelo show, the Mexico show, right? Definitely going to be some good stuff in the future of Emmanuel Navarrete. But I think it's time to leave February in the past and talk a bit about March, which is going to be a fun freaking month.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have two big shows for the fans here in one weekend, right? We got Zuffa 4, which we'll get into, and we have UFC 326 running down the card here, man. In a bantamweight division, we have the number 13 bantamweight Rob Font taking on Raul Rosas Jr. In the middleweight division, man, number 13 Gregory Rodriguez taking on number 15 Bruno Ferreira. Another middleweight fight, number 7 Chao Borrallo versus number 8 Reiner de Ridder. All right. And then in the lightweight division, the co-main here, we got the number 10 lightweight in the world, Renato Moicano, taking on the number 10 featherweight currently in the world, Brian Ortega. Looks like Ortega's moving up. And then, of course, before I get into the main event, is there anything you want to comment on this undercard for UFC 326, my man?
Well, not, let me think here, man. I'm gonna say Renan de Ridder, dude. I think de Ridder is a talent that we really need to be like looking at, man. I mean, Bahalio's good, but I think the Ritter's on another level. I mean, look, I mean, if we really go like at his track record, well, I mean, actually, no. Let me scratch that. I mean,
let's just get into it, man. Let's
yeah,
talk about what the people want to hear.
Let's talk about.
The
I mean,
BMF.
we can talk about de Ridder real quick. I hate to cut you off, by the way.
No, you're good.
I think the Ridder could be something special. I mean, look at the fight he had against Robert Whitaker, man. Like, he pretty much put that work in over the Reaper, man. He put that work in over Bobby Knuckles, and of course, came up short a little bit against Brandon Allen, but I think the Ritter could. This is a big bounce back fight for him, dude. And Rojas too, man. Rojas is another guy that I think we should probably be looking at too. I mean, everybody loves Chewies, right? I mean,
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm
it's
just
gonna be interesting, man.
I'm just eager, my guy, to talk about Max Holloway defending the BMF championship against Charles Oliveira. What are your thoughts on this fight, man? We all know it's going to be a good ass fight, man. These BMF title fights, no matter how good or middling the UFC is doing, these BMF title fights have stood the test of time as just consistently being the UFC that we've known and loved for decades now. You and I, since we were little kids, right?
Sure. So, man, this is actually a rematch, believe it or not. So you forgot to mention that because the last time they fought, it was a very weird fight. Let's just say the least. I mean, Oliveira had a neck injury, which got Holloway the win somehow, but we won't get into that. This fight, this is going to be a lot different. Obviously, a lot has happened in that time. I mean, of course, Max is the BMF champion. Max has gone on to do other successful things. He's champion, of course, and then of course, you can't forget Charlie Alice, man, do Bronx, former champion. Like he had, like I think one of the best comeback stories in the UFC. I think, like from being doubted as like the next big Brazilian thing, the next big Brazilian fighter to now former champion, man. Like that's a hell of a story. And of course, like going into this, Holloway's coming off that win over Dustin Poirier, and then of course Charlie Olives is coming off of a win over Mateusz Gamrot. So this is going to be a real interesting fight. Obviously, both of them lost to Taporia, but we will not get into that because that makes me sad. Um, but this is going to be a real interesting fight. I think this fight will be as advertised a war. I think the BMF title is in good hands, man. I think Holloway, no matter who wins, man, I think the fans will be happy.
That's what's beautiful about the BMF championship. Who's the baddest motherfucker? You know, like just a cool concept. I've always enjoyed it. Even on the, there were points in time where I wasn't as high on the UFC as I am now. Let's just say that. I think the UFC's been fantastic in 2026, but there was a couple years there where not so much. Every once in a while, yes, Ilya Taportia, I don't even want to say his name, but I did, really carried that shit for me. Really good fighter. Sorry. Um, and now we're in a better era of UFC, and I'm just trying to say this BMF championship, like, is kicking ass, and it always has. I haven't missed a BMF title fight. I don't think ever.
Uh,
I just want to sing my praises for the belts. Let's
yeah,
move on, man. Let's
let me
talk about
let me.
Zuffa Ford. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Uh, hate to interrupt you, man. But I want to just ask you, like, is it, in your opinion, is this fight like, is this one of those fights where you hate to see either guy lose? Yes or no?
No, I think I like Max Holloway a lot more, and I definitely don't dislike. In fact, I respect and love to watch Charles Oliveira fight. I just think Max Holloway is doing something special right now, and Charles Oliveira is one of the best MMA fighters. I mean, like, I'm not even trying to have a hot take right here. The guy is talented. He's been through some shit, and he's had a good career in the UFC. I mean, he has every possibility to win this fight. It really is a coin flip, in my opinion. Like, I'm not counting out Oliveira at all. But this is just a money fight. Both names, a championship that's meant a lot for a very long time. I'm at a point with UFC where the BMF title is literally my favorite freaking title. And that's kind of sad to say because of the current state of things. Like I said, UFC, even though they've been fantastic for a long time, they had a lull recently. All right. I don't think anybody's going to strike me for saying that. What are your thoughts on that, man?
No, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, I honestly, I agree with you on the BMF title being my favorite title because I think it's the most entertaining title. I feel like, I mean, when we look at the divisions, I mean, like we can't. There's not a division I can point at and say that is saving the UFC right now. I mean, maybe we can argue. We can argue probably Volkanovski, but I feel like Volkanovski's kind of already run through his division, so that's kind of out of the question.
Yeah, I think the Volkanovski versus Lopez 2 was kind of a crescendo to something that has been fantastic. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
we hit a point where the point right now where we have to establish some stars. I mean, I think UFC is struggling to make the White House card because there's a lot of lull right now. And I can see us on the end of that. Like I could see us getting on out of that. I can see who's ready. I could see a couple young stars that are ready to light up their divisions, right? And
for sure.
there's still a lot of fighters that are still actively fighting to where we are still in just a brilliant era. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's
Let-
talk some Zuffa 4. Are you ready to talk Zuffa 4? You got something to say real quick?
No, I mean, I was just gonna say that I'm excited for this fight, and that the BMF title is. I'm just gonna kind of restate my point, man. BMF title is the most entertaining title in the UFC, and that's sucks. But I mean, hey, I mean, what can you do? When you have a good when you have amazing fighter in Max Holloway, man, come on, I'm not gonna complain. But let's jump into Zuffa 4, my friend. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think Dana was trying to control UFC when he felt like it was going through a lull, but he kind of did a smart thing and just completely letting go of what UFC becomes and just letting things play their natural course because now he's busy building Zuffa and I think he's having a lot of fun doing it. I mean, Dana White seems so freaking happy when he's doing like the boxing stuff, except for when he's being a dick and stuff. Let's be real. But, a happy Dana White is still a, grouchy motherfucker, but he seems happy with Zuffa boxing. All right. All right, Dana. Sorry, man. Let's talk about the first ever Zuffa boxing championship that we are going to see this Sunday as the Ring Magazine Cruiserweight champion Jao Pataya takes on the number 10 cruiserweight in the world, Brandon Glanton, who's also a badass. Not only is Opataya defending the Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Championship here, which let's be honest, the Ring Magazine is the most that is the pinnacle of boxing right now, the Ring Magazine Championship. What was once assigned to people, very recently that changed and now people actually fight for the Ring Championship, and I think that just makes it all the more important. It is the title in boxing right now. But we have Dana White entering the world of boxing with Zuffa Boxing, and Opataya will also be defending the Zuffa Cruiserweight Championship. Or not defending, I'm sorry. He will be fighting for the inaugural Zuffa Cruiserweight Championship. Interesting. I'm excited to see what this looks like. I'm excited to see how this goes. I know Opataya is special, but Brandon Glanton is also going to be a very entertaining fighter to see fight for this Zuffa Cruiserweight Championship. I mean, this is just fantastic here. Before we get into the undercard, let's hear your thoughts on the main event of Zuffa Boxing 4.
I mean, you already know what I mean, you kind of already know what I want to say about Opataya, man. I can sing that dude's praises all freaking day, but dude, I love Opataya. For the viewers at home, if you've never seen a Jai Opataya fight, do yourself a favor and Google one. I don't care which one it is. Look one up. Look up his knockouts, dude. He is so damn entertaining. 29-0, 23 knockouts, dude. Like, come on, like. I don't want to compare him to Gennady or nothing because I feel like there's no real comparison. But he has that killer instinct, that calm killer. Like, I'm gonna kill you in the ring, like, and he's gonna like he'll decide and wait to knock you out, man. His footwork is insane for a cruiserweight. That power of his and his timing, of course. He does not waste his shots. And as for Brandon Glanton, dude, like tough fighter, man. He's very entertaining as well. Very blue collar. He's here to fight you. He's not here to outbox you. I mean, of course, dude, 85% KO rate. Somebody is getting knocked out, dude. I know my predictions are kind of hit or miss, but I'm telling you, man, somebody's gonna get knocked out on Sunday, dude. Holy cow. I cannot wait for this fight, man. Woo.
Yeah, man, this is going to be fantastic. Zuffa has just gotten better, better, and better with their first three shows, right? all shows entertaining, but they have just like increased in magnitude as time has went on. And now we go into their fourth show and we have Opataya versus Galantin. It's their first big fight, you know? It's their first big fight. And it's gonna be fun, dude. It's gonna be so fun. On the undercard here, we have a featherweight matchup and a welterweight matchup, right? Opening up the show will be Adon Palma taking on Pablo Rubio Jr. in a featherweight bout. And then just before we get our main event here, we will see Ricardo Sales take on Jesus Saracho in a welterweight bout. This Zuffa welterweight division is honestly looking to be freaking fun. This, I think, like the middleweight, maybe it's too soon with the middleweight division. It's just, Callum Wash is cool. We got Mizal in the middleweight. That's going to be fun. But the welterweights are a surefire hit for Zuffa boxing. I mean, obviously, welterweight boxing is some of the most entertaining boxing in the world right now. But let me just say, keep your eye on the Zuffa welterweight division. What are your thoughts, man, before we get on to PBC here?
Dude, the welterweight division is so like it's very. It hasn't been like. I feel like the welterweight division hasn't been like this stacked since like the early 2000s or like or like hell even go like 2010s. Like we haven't seen this much like competition since that time. I feel. I mean, of course,
The welterweight golden era.
dude, the welterweight golden era, and of course, dude, we forgot to mention they signed Connor fucking Ben, dude, like.
Oh, we'll fucking get to that, bro. Don't you worry, man.
Bro, like, dude, like, what a dude, Zuffa boxing, the Zuffa welterweight division, dude. Like, we are, they're gonna be something special, man. Like, like I said, I say that about a lot of stuff, but dude, like this Zuffa welterweight division, we're like in the golden age, and I know, like, we're joking about that right now, but I mean, dude, it could come true, man. I think this welterweight division is stacked, man, and I feel like we shouldn't be sleeping on any of these fights, man. All these fights are incredible.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Zuffa 4 is going to be a hoot. I'm excited to see what Zuffa has for us in the future because now that they've given us the first Zuffa World Championship match here, there's no going back. There's no putting the genie back in the bottle. So I think these first three fights have established stars that Zuffa want to use, perhaps ones that Zuffa want to use against each other, whatever that looks like. Obviously, we've talked about Callum Walsh and Misal Rodriguez, that being a money fight for Zuffa. But, it's time to move on. It's time to expand here because in order to be a fair judge on the world of boxing right now, we need to watch all of it, right? We need to watch all of it. And ultimately, this is how you do it, man. Before we get into PBC, there are 4 homes for boxing right now. Okay, the top 2 are DAZN, which has every pay per view that goes on in the world of boxing, except for one, which we'll get to. And then we have, of course, Zuffa Boxing, Dana White, the genius behind the UFC, the excellence behind the UFC, crafting boxing for himself and for and just having a promotion with deep pockets, right? Entering the game, lighting a fire on everyone's ass, right? So that's on Paramount Plus. So DAZN, Paramount Plus for Zuffa Boxing, and of course UFC. And then you have Netflix in the fighting game here, putting on the return of Tyson Fury, which we'll get to, putting on freaking Pacquiao versus Mayweather 2, which we will get to, right? Very much appealing to the casual fan of boxing in an excellent way. Perhaps it wasn't as fun when they were, centered around Jake Paul, but they got their finish with that story. Jake Paul finished the story and got his ass knocked out. So now we can move on and have some fun with Netflix and their combat sports, particularly boxing. And then the fourth home of boxing is, of course, Prime Video, because they are the home of premier boxing champions who we will see a handful of pay-per-views out of every year. And ultimately, I do want to say Premier Boxing Champions was there for boxing when it feels like nobody was. When it feels like boxing was in the shit for so long, the PBC was there. Premier Boxing Champions is absolutely, it sucks because if you have that DAZN Ultimate subscription, you get every pay-per-view. except for the PBC one. So you would have to pay for those separately. And then, of course, with Netflix and Paramount Plus, those aren't pay-per-views; those are streaming services, which, of course, makes things much easier. But ultimately, the PBC deserves this. I think the PBC, with its little spotlight on Prime Video, deserves this. And these are the four homes of boxing, each in a unique way. Zuffa in a unique UFC-esque way, Netflix in a very exhibitionist, superstar way, PBC doing what the PBC always does, and then, of course, DAZN just being the absolute home of boxing, right? But let's get into this premier boxing champions card that is headlined by Sebastian Fundora defending the WBC super welterweight title against Keith Thurman. Before we get into this undercard, Ant, what are you thinking about this fight? What are you thinking about this headline, and who you got? Because this is honestly a really fun fight.
This is closer than I think a lot of people realize, dude. I think I've seen Keith Thurman fight. I actually was there in the Alamo Dome when he fought what's his name? Hold on, I gotta check. He fought who did he fight? He fought Jesus Soto, Casares in the Dome. I was on I actually have the poster somewhere. But I was there when he fought, and let me say this, man. Keith Thurman is not a joke, dude. He's a fucking badass, and same with Fundora, man. Like, this is a really close fight. This is Southpaw versus Orthodox, classic matchup. Of course, Fundora uses his height and reach, of course, and to control the distance, while on the other side we have a explosive counterpuncher in Thurman. Of course, when we look at the recent fights, if we compare the two, of course, Fundora had that win over to Tszyu in 2025, that knockout win over to Tszyu, which was absolutely incredible. And now he's riding one win, which of course was Tim Tszyu, and one loss against Brian. And then after the loss to Brian Mendoza, while on the other side we have Thurman coming off of a win over Brock Jarvis, and he's very limited, but when he fights, man, he's a very entertaining fighter. I mean, this is gonna be a really close fight. I think this fight will go all 12 rounds. And let me be honest here, Matt. Let me be honest here, bro. I have Fundora winning, and I think the reason why, and I actually have a little note here. I think the reach will be too much for Thurman to handle. I think.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah.
That's what's gonna mess up. That's what's gonna throw Thurman off, dude. I think, like, the height and the reach. Thurman's never fought a guy like Fundora. And if Tszyu had a hard time trying to figure out Fundora, just imagine how hard it's gonna be for Thurman to figure out Fundora. He's in for a long night, dude. But I think this fight will be really close. I have Fundora winning by unanimous decision, but that's my take, man. I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, no, I have Fundora honestly getting a finish here, and I don't know. I know that's not like, I can see it happening. That's what my intuition is telling me here. Undercard for this PBC pay-per-view, the first one of 2026, consists of Frank Sanchez versus the number 9 heavyweight in the world, Richard Torres Jr., fighting in an IBF heavyweight title eliminator, co-main in there. And then we have 2 more fights on the main card. We have the number 2 middleweight in the world, Yonli Hernandez, taking on Terrell Gausha. And then to open up the main card, this super middleweight bout will be between Elijah Garcia and Kevin Newman II. What are your thoughts on this undercard, if you have any? I think the undercard being, I think the eliminator is going to be a lot of fun. I think this undercard has stuff going for it, but ultimately it kind of highlights the amount of different players in boxing right now. Right, the PBC is a freaking underdog these days. They used to be the powerhouse. They are the underdog these days, which makes it fun. And I'm sure they'll do great.
I feel like I'm gonna kind of put this in wrestling terms. I guess they could kind of I don't want to consider them the Ring of Honor of boxing. I feel like they're more like the WCW of boxing, because I mean, of course, they were on top for a long time, and they kind of just became underground a little bit. I think, dude, this card is actually really good from what I've been looking at for like the last couple of seconds. Like, I think the fight that stands out to me, man, is the Eliminator, dude. Like, that Eliminator fight's gonna be so interesting. Like, I think with the way I think somebody's gonna. I mean, of course, it's gonna suck for whoever loses, man. But that fight's gonna be so interesting. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, man. And then we'll see the PBC again in May as they have David Benavidez,
Oh man,
right, taking on Gilberto Ramirez for the
Birdo.
WBA and WBO Cruiserweight Championship, which is going to be a crazy ass fight,
Dude, I've been waiting a
right?
long time for that fight, man. Like I hate to cut you off, man. I apologize again.
You're good, man.
But dude, I've been waiting a long ass time for that fight. Zerto and Benavidez, man, put them in a ring together, you're gonna get fireworks, dude. I can guarantee you that shit, bro. Like, whole dude, what a dude! I cannot wait for that fight. May, dude, we're in for a. If you want the definition of a Mexican war, dude, that fight's gonna be it, dude. I can promise you that, dude. Like Benavidez, fucking warrior, dude. Fuck, dude. Both of them are warriors, man. And I think Zerto, man, in my opinion, he's definitely like one of the best. Like currently, I mean, I have him like top. I am like in my top 5 pound for pound right now, which is kind of crazy to say. I mean, considering that some other fighters do exist, Canelo still exists, and a few others. But like, come on, man, Zerto's just something special. And same with Benavidez, man. Like they're both very special. And I think that fight in May is gonna highlight. He's gonna highlight it, man. I think we're in for a hell of a treat, man. On Cinco de Mayo. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. That's going to be a great Cinco de Mayo fight. I mean, we knew somebody was going to pull up for Cinco de Mayo, and here's the PBC pulling up. Good stuff, man. Let's get into the rest of the announcements. You know, everything we have heard announced in the world of boxing since you and I have last spoke, which was almost a month ago, you know. Don't worry, it won't be that long hearing from us again. We will do an episode after Zuffa 4 and cover not only UFC 326, but Zuffa Boxing 4. All right. But we have so many announcements, and we can clearly see what 2026 is going to look like for boxing in this first half year. It's already been freaking incredible. Just nobody predicted it to be this incredible. I'm sorry. Nobody predicted for this to have such a beautiful start. And then these announcements just kind of piggyback off of it very well, right? We've gone over the 2 shows that the PBC is going to do in the first half of 2026, right? We know that heavyweight eliminator between Frank Sanchez and Richard Torres might have implications on Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois for the WBO heavyweight title, man. That's going to be another crazy ass fight, right? And then we also have out of Queensberry, right? You can watch those on DAZN Ultimate. The headlining another pay-per-view from Queensberry about a month before, if I'm not mistaken, is Wilder versus Chisora, which is out of the O2. So you got 2 big ass fights here from Queensberry starting in April and May. Let's get back to some of the crazier stuff, though, if I'm being honest. The Ring magazine has 2 fights that they've lined up. I imagine that both of these are going to be pay-per-views coming from the Ring magazine, but we have Naoya Inoue taking on Nakatani, defending the undisputed junior featherweight championship out of the Tokyo Dome. New Japan Pro Wrestling has me watching the Tokyo Dome early January in the middle of the night like a maniac. We might have to do this with boxing, fam. We might have to see this Japanese versus Japanese junior featherweight champion of the world fight from the Tokyo Dome in the middle of the night. You know, it's really hard for us Americans to watch Japanese content, and this will absolutely be for for Japan, for the Japanese people. It will be Japanese content, and it's gonna be awesome, dude. I love a Naoya, obviously, so I'm really excited to see just this freaking money fight and hear your thoughts on it.
fucking dog, dude. Fucking Inoue is the fucking dude, man. Like he's the monster, bro, for a reason. I remember I actually watched one of his recent fights, not like about a year ago, I think. And I've always been high on Inoue, man. He's absolute fucking like I said, like I've been saying about Obataya, like I could sing his praises all day, and I do want to see the and there have been rumors about him fighting Bam Rodriguez potentially to unify the titles or maybe crown a double champion. But that'll be wait. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But dude, Inoue he's just killing everybody, dude, kicking everybody's ass left and right. And honestly, I don't think anybody can beat him. He's the all around perfect fighter, dude.
Yeah, man. We'll see what happens at the Tokyo Dome. I'm definitely gonna stay up for this one. I'm definitely gonna throw my sleep schedule off for this
me
one.
too.
And then the Ring Magazine also goes ahead and announces Usyk's next fight. Okay, we got Alexander Usyk taking on Rico Verhoeven, and what's being advertised as a WBC heavyweight title fight. You know, Usyk also has the WBA, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what exactly is on the line, but we are advertising this WBC heavyweight title fight as a huge one. Obviously, Usyk being the pound for pound guy.
Come on, man. Like, dude, I mean, Usyk is dude. I mean, do we really need to say anything else except greatest of all time for Usyk, man? I mean, when we talk greatest boxers of all time, you have to talk Alexander Usyk, man. I mean, we talk about your Ali's, your Tysons, your Pacquiao's, your like hell, I even throw Salvador Sanchez in there. If you know, you know. But dude, Usyk, man, come on. This is gonna be awesome, man. The fact that it's taking place in a country like Egypt, of course, boxing has a very historic is very historic in boxing. That's kind of where it all started. That's where the sport kind of started in Egypt, of course. So I think it's really cool that we're kind of like going back to where it all began for boxing, man. I think this fight's going to be real interesting. Obviously, I think Usyk's winning, of course, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's really cool that they're doing stuff like in the pyramids and the home where boxing kind of pretty much got its start, man, from like the early times, man. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, man. And in an era of the Ring Magazine recently becoming the pinnacle championship of boxing, with Zuffa Boxing bringing the Zuffa belt in, we'll see how that goes, right? To kind of have the WBC heavyweight title defended here just kind of makes it, you know, a very traditional root seeking fight aesthetically and through energy. You know, I'm getting the energy off that. It's going to be something special. It's not just Usyk's next fight. It's something special. And you could tell that's what they got up their sleeve for us, which is excellent, right? Those are the vibes I'm getting. And I think with the world of boxing and how good it's been in early 2026, I don't feel like I'm taking a risk saying that. It's going to be something special. It doesn't even, you know, like, yeah, he's probably going to win and retain because it's freaking Usyk, right? I don't think any of us have any money on Rico, but respect to Rico, I'm just saying, like, this is going to be a special show. And now, before we get on out of here, hopefully in under an hour, probably not, we have Netflix, right? We've talked about the four homes of boxing, with Paramount Plus having Zuffa Boxing, kind of the new kid on the block with something to prove and a chip on their shoulder and deep ass pockets. And then we have, you know, DAZN Ultimate having the Ring Magazine events, which are new and are fantastic, with, again, endless pockets and anything else that boxing has to offer outside of the PBC, which you could see on Amazon Prime. And then Netflix says, what do y'all think about this shit? And it's a little different, right? It's a little different. It's not the same thing we're getting at the PBC. It's not the same thing we're getting on DAZN, and it's definitely not the same thing we're getting at Zuffa, even though it'll be a little adjacent, right? The Ring Magazine is definitely facilitating these Netflix events here, and another secret event, which we will get to before we get to, you know, the Mayweather Pacquiao. Spoiler alert, right? But we have the return of Tyson Fury to boxing happening on Netflix, right? We have Tyson Fury taking on Arslandik Makhmudov in the long-awaited return. I don't know, man. Fury's retired a lot. Let's be real. But what will be an interesting conversation is Conor Benn, who is co-maining this Netflix card, right? Conor Benn was recently reported to have signed a $15 million one-fight deal for Zuffa Boxing, which sent the world into flames, right? Apparently, UFC specialists were wondering how this was going to rub the UFC fighters who don't get to see a fraction of that money. And one can argue that UFC, MMA in general, excuse me, is there's a lot more to it than boxing. I'm not going to sit here and say that, but Conor Benn leaving Eddie Hearn, joining the dark side, Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. But wait, then there's later reports that the Ring Magazine and Turkey paid that $15 million one fight deal to Conor Benn. And this is where we're seeing that fight, right? Against Regis Prograis. It's going to be a great fight. It's good to see Conor Benn back up in the mix. Definitely another guy that just calls to be a star in the world of boxing. And we'll see what happens with Zuffa, man. It'd be hilarious if he just runs back to Eddie Hearn after collecting 15 mil for this Netflix Ring Magazine Tyson Fury return card fight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's gonna happen, but let me dream. That would just be hilarious, dude, if he runs back to Eddie Hearn after collecting the 15 mil. All right, let me dream. No, it's good that he's gonna be in Zuffa though, man, and he's gonna be a part of the Zuffa welterweight division that we just sang its praises to, and it's interesting. Shit gets interesting out here with the entrance of Dana White into the world of boxing. What are your thoughts on Tyson Fury's comeback fight? What are your thoughts on Conor Benn and all the Zuffa Boxing contract silliness before we get into the other two main card fights for this Netflix card?
First off, I gotta ask, how many times is Tyson Fury gonna retire, bro? It's kind of become a running joke for me. Like, how many times he retires? Like, oh, there he goes again. But I think this fight, I don't want to say it's an easy fight for Tyson because, I mean, his opponent's pretty good, but I feel like he doesn't pose the match to Fury, man. I don't think so. I mean, not the same way that Usyk did, at least. But, like, I don't know, bro. I feel like I really don't know how to feel about this fight, man. This is a very weird fight. And this could be a make or break fight for Tyson Fury. If he loses this one, which he shouldn't, then I think maybe it's actually time to hang it up. But if he wins this fight, then maybe he can get a crack at one more title shot. I mean, it's not gonna by miracle Usyk will have to lose his title, but that won't happen.
I think the big fight here that's going to be the Netflix like casual fan spectacle.
AJ.
Maybe that's pessimistic to say, but I think that big Netflix fight in the second half of this year is going to be Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, the guy that knocked the lights out of Jake Paul. What do you think about that? You think that's the fight, man? You think that's the one after Fury if he wins this one?
That's the fight to make. I mean, even Joshua himself asked Eddie Hearn after the Paul fight. He said that he wants Tyson Fury. I mean, why not make that fight? You can book it in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You can book it at Wembley. That fight sells itself. That's a really good fight, man. I think both guys are. I mean, they're on the decline, yes, but that'll be an entertaining fight for the casual fans and for the of course us diehards, man. I mean, you can book Wembley Stadium, man. I think that's fans will show up in droves. You'll have London split because half of them will cheer for Fury, half of them will cheer for Joshua. I think we're gonna it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna get all in London vibes out of this shit, bro. And then as far as Conor Benn goes, dude, I think $15 million for one fight, man. Jesus. I mean, I'm not saying that Conor Benn doesn't deserve it. I mean, look at the 2 wins over Chris Eubank Jr. That was awesome. I mean, It would be. It's interesting, man. I feel like Zuffa should have signed him a little bit longer. Maybe even like added him. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna add him to their roster, but
I don't even think his Zuffa contract is finalized. I think this 15 mil fight is for this Netflix ring event, right? I think it's yeah. I think that's the case here. He hasn't even signed his Zuffa boxing deal, which is confusing as fuck because
it is.
it was announced that he signed with Zuffa and it was a $15 million one fight deal, right? And then it comes out that he's actually fighting on the Netflix card. He's actually co-maining with Tyson Fury, and Tyson
This
Fury's returned to boxing again.
this one.
So I,
Uh,
you know, I think that was just some petty money. I think Eddie Hearn opened his mouth and Dana put his money where Eddie Hearn's mouth was, which is concerning in its own right because you think about Dana White spending money just to shut up Eddie Hearn. You think, oh, if he's willing to spend that money, how much money is he willing to long term invest into Zuffa, and who will he not be able to get? In other words, is there anyone that Dana White can't eventually get over to Zuffa boxing? I know that's a dramatic question, but like I said, if he's willing to drop a shit ton of money to shut up Eddie Hearn, then that to me is like play money. Like it's showing his play money, and his play money is a fucking deep purse. It's a deep purse. I think that's fair to say. I want to talk about more of these Netflix cards, dude. But do you have anything else to say?
I did want to just talk about the fight against Regis, man. I think this fight's gonna be really close. I mean, both fighters are so damn good, and this one hurts me because I love them both, man. I love both these guys, like, and I hate to see one of them go down, but I'm gonna go. I think Conor Benn might actually do it, man. I think Conor might actually upset Regis, man. I mean, Regis is a damn good fighter, though, man. I mean, if I look at his like track record, let me see. Hold on, what's his track record? Let's see. He's fought some of the best of the best, man. I mean, let me pull it up real quick. All right, I found it. 30-3, man. Of course, he had that. He's fought Catterall. He's fought Devin Haney. He's fought Zorilia, like Zepeda, like you name it, dude. He's fought like some top competition, man. Like
He's going to be a dog in Zuffa boxing, and
oh yeah,
I think he's definitely going to get the win here. But I really assumed that he was going to have a Zuffa card main fight and fight for the Zuffa welterweight championship.
I thought so too, man. I thought
Yeah,
so.
yeah, we'll get there. I'm sure we'll see what happens. I guess there's a lot to do there.
It'll be fun.
Um, this is only the beginning for Conor Benn. I know he's almost 35 fights in, but it feels like he's starting a new beginning with Zuffa, and there's no reason for him not to dominate. He's got
Now,
to get past Regis
let, me,
first, so we'll let him do that.
let me ask your opinion on Regis though, real quick. What's your opinion on him?
I think Conor Benn's got it. All love and respect to Regis, but I do think Conor Benn's got it.
I think
And
so too, man.
yeah, yeah. All right. Before we get into the Mayweather Pacquiao stuff, which holy shit, I did not see that coming. Before we get into that, we have Netflix making history. Netflix having their first ever mixed martial arts event, MMA event. And the headlining fight will see Ronda Rousey taking on Gina Carano. Where we've entered Hollywood MMA now. What is this? I'm gonna watch this shit, and I'm sure you are too. I want to hear your thoughts on this before we get to the main enchilada.
What the actual fuck, bro? What is this time? The system is broken, bro. The system is glitched. The matrix is broken. Like, what is happening, bro? Like, we're really getting the two biggest stars, arguably the two biggest stars in women's MMA. Of course, Gina Carano, pioneer in women's MMA. If it weren't for Gina, there'd probably be no women's MMA. And of course, Ronda Rousey, obviously the biggest star in UFC. This fight is so weird because Gina Carano hasn't fought since 2009 in Strikeforce, dude. Like, this is nuts, dude. Like, what is going on? Like, and then of course Ronda Rousey, we all know how her career went. Lost to Holly Holm in one of the biggest upsets in MMA, and then of course lost again to Amanda Nunes in embarrassing fashion. But we won't get into that because I don't want Ronda to kill me. But dude, like, this
Just
is
because there's always a bigger fish when it comes to these combat sports doesn't mean we can't appreciate, the
this is so
spirit of
weird.
these fighters. And obviously, the spirit of Ronda had the UFC in a freaking stranglehold. It felt like she was their biggest star for a minute there in a time where there were nothing but fucking stars. It's going to be interesting to see
Right?
Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. It's going to be so freaking cool. Like, oh my God, this might be the first and last Netflix MMA event.
We live in a weird ass timeline, bro. Like I feel like this. I mean, I said it to a couple buddies of mine. I feel like this fight is a little too late, but I mean, if they can put on a show, man, I mean, fuck it, dude, take my money. I mean, this is gonna be interesting, man. I don't know who gets this though, man. I feel like oh my God, I don't know how to call this, man. I don't even want to give a prediction because I know no matter what happens, I feel like I'm gonna be wrong. Like, but this is a very what a weird fucking time to be what a wild time to be a fight fan, dude. Like, if you were to tell me like 10 years ago, like that we're getting Ronda versus Gina, bro, I would have said like, yeah, right, like it's not gonna happen. But now it's actually happening, and it's in 2026, man. Jesus Christ, God, Jesus, bro.
Yeah, yeah, definitely nuts. All right, man. I think it's time. I think we've talked about all the ins and outs of boxing. What a busy month February was. What a awesome month March is gonna be, man. Just good stuff. I'm so excited for what's in store for us. UFC 326, Zuffa Boxing 4, crowning the first ever Zuffa champion. And then of course the PBC's first show of 2026, Fundura versus Thurman. Right, gonna be a good time. Um, Time to talk about Mayweather Pacquiao because we recently got an announcement that in September, Netflix will be the home of Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2. It was called the fight of the century when they first fought in 2015. What actually happened in the build to it are two different things. Let's be real. But I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised by that at all. And I wasn't when it happened. I wasn't surprised by that when it happened at all. Okay. But ultimately, man, like, I don't see a reason why the second fight can't be as fun as the first fight. I know Manny Pacquiao is unretired from boxing, right? Went on to fight to a draw against Mario Barrios in a solid fight. And Mayweather has booked himself officially an exhibition against Mike Zambides. This exhibition will take place in June. There's been rumors of Mayweather versus Mike Tyson taking place in the Congo in April. Is that actually happening? I don't know. Even Manny Pacquiao was set to have an exhibition, but that's not official. I'm sure he will have an exhibition before September, but shit. Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 in September. I can't believe I'm saying that. Two of boxing's biggest stars. What was called the fight of the century in the long build to it from the 2000s to the mid 2010s. What? Give me sound off. I'm flabbergasted even saying this shit right now.
I honestly don't even know what to say at this point, bro. I mean, like, what can we even say? Like, dude, this fight is. Oh my! I'm gonna just keep repeating what I said earlier in the show. Like, we live in a weird ass timeline, dude. Because Mayweather versus Pacquiao, bro, the fight that everybody said probably got away, and the fight that we eventually got as the fight of the century. I remember watching that fight. That was one of my very first introductions to boxing. I was like 10 years old, and I remember ordering that pay per view, and watching it with a couple buddies. And holy shit, bro! Like the fact that this is even happening, and the fact that we're seeing Mayweather versus Pacquiao in 2026 is fucking insane, bro. Like I can't even put into words like what like as soon as I got the notification, I texted you. I was like, dude, this is actually happening. I think you can testify to that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
dude, fucking A, dude, like Jesus Christ, bro. Like I don't even know what to say, bro. Like this is nuts, dude. Like I
Bro,
can't believe it.
bro, listen to this. The type of shit that got announced in the past few weeks, right? Few weeks. Opataya fight and Glanton fighting for the first ever Zuffa World Championship. We had a Mayweather versus Tyson exhibition rumor, which spiraled the fuck into Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather 2 in September, which was crazy. The return of Tyson Fury. All the Conor Benn contract bullshit only to have Conor Benn fighting in Tyson Fury's co-main. Naoya fight announced. Usyk fight announced. And then Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano running it on Netflix, and probably Netflix's one and only MMA event ever. What the fuck? I don't think we're ever going to have such an abundant episode ever. Like, it's our third episode of the Lights Out podcast. We are never going to have this much crazy shit happen in one episode. And I hope 3 episodes in that we were able to do justice to all this good stuff. How fun is this shit right now, dude?
Dude, this is fucking awesome, dude. Like, and well, I was gonna bring it up earlier, man. Hey, Seahawks are world champions, by the way. I know this isn't boxing related, but hey, my Hawks are world champions now, man. So that's pretty sick. But dude, I feel this feels like you remember like how like every week there was like something new in WWE, like 2022 to 2024. Remember that?
Yeah.
This is what it feels like.
Yeah, I
This
agree.
whole month is what it felt like. I felt like every week, dude, something new was coming out, or every like it was. I can't even keep up with it, dude. Like I'm literally like I had to like glue to my I was glued to my phone on news, bro. Like Jesus, like I don't think we'll ever see this much news ever again. Like at least like with like the big fights, man. Like I don't think we'll ever see stuff like this ever again, man. And the fact that we're only 3 episodes into the show, and the fact that all this happened in the span of 3 episodes, dude, that's nuts. Holy shit, dude. What a time to be alive. Like I know I say that all the time. I mean
It's
this shit,
crazy.
dude. What a time to be alive, man.
We what started as just all right, UFC and Zuffa boxing, and then boxing was like, hold my beer, bro. Let's fucking talk some boxing.
Yeah.
Dude, we're so lucky. We're so blessed. I'm so excited. This first half of 2026 is going to be filled with bangers, right? And September is going to have the Canelo fight and this shit, Mayweather versus Pacquiao too.
God damn, bro.
Oh, brother, this is going to be fun, man. This is a lot of stuff is setting up to the second half of 2026. I can tell, but this first half also has some heavy freaking hitters, man. I gotta say, this too much fun, man. We're definitely gonna get back in here after Zuffa 4. We'll talk UFC 326. We'll talk Zuffa 4, and then we will highlight Ring Magazine's March matchups of the month, and that will give us some good fun. And then we'll talk to you after the PBC after that. Okay. Cool, man. I don't even know how to sign off. What another fun episode, man. I'll let you sign us off. Good to see you. Man.
I just want to say, man, hey, go Hawks, man. World champs, baby. Woo. Hell, even I don't even know how to sign off, but I'll just do it like how we always do it, man. I want to shout out my boy Matt, aka Wrestling's Bullshit, best in the world right here, man. This dude's my guy. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't be doing this, man. So shout out to him. I want to give a shout out and a big rest in peace to my big dog, the OG big dog, Mr. Carlos Carrasco. Want to shout out everybody, all the fans, of course. But yeah, man. I mean, what a fucking time to be alive. Am I right? Isn't it good to be alive in this time, bro? My friend, for boxing.
Oh yeah, dude. I did not see this boxing renaissance coming, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I did not see this shit coming. I've been so fed up with boxing, wishing it would be all right, only watching Canelo and Naoya for years type shit. Like,
for real, man.
I'm so happy, man. I'm so freaking happy that we're doing this. I feel blessed, brother. All right, hit him with the sign out.
All right, guys. I am Ant, aka Lights Out, aka Boxing Bullshit, aka whatever. We are out of here, guys. Boom! Let's go! Go Hawks, baby! Woo! I'm out.